Every snap is an interview.
After the Snap.
What a snap. Hey, keep your mouth shut, 50.
I lead by example.
With Blake and Reed Ferguson, discussing life in, out, and after football.
To be able to leave walking away with a degree and a championship, it couldn't be any better.
Yeah!
Well, you can take this boy out the real South out, but you can't take the real South out of my voice. And now here we go again, twist a little bit deeper because I got thick skin.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
For our
SpongeBob.
first interview pod in I don't know how long.
It has been a while.
It's been far too long, and it is so good.
Is it our first one all season? I don't know if we've had. I don't know if we have. I don't think we've had anybody on.
Did we have Lutz on? We had Lutz on. They were getting ready to go to somewhere. They had a Thursday night game that next night.
That's right.
Anyway, let's talk this past weekend before we get into the Ross Matiscik interview. I am back home now, and that's really sad.
Yes, you are. I would say I'm sorry, but
don't be sorry. It's cool.
Being the
super mega
athlete that I am, I'm not going to say that I'm sorry.
Super mega wild card weekend was not very nice to me. But congratulations. Moving on.
Thank you.
I think if you asked a lot of people if you told people that the final score of that game was going to be 34-31, they would have told you that you are a liar. And that was how we wanted it to be. And so super proud of the guys. Happy for you. You know, I'm hoping that you will be making your way down here to Atlanta here in a week or so to be playing in the AFC Championship. But big weekend ahead for you.
Absolutely.
Let's talk atmosphere. Let's talk Highmark Stadium. It was rocking in there, and it was a different feeling than it felt like 4 weeks ago when we were there for a regular season game, which was pretty much a playoff game, you know, for us. There was just a different vibe in there, and I don't know if it was specifically just Buffalo or if it's because it was a playoff game, but it was awesome.
It was the Bills Mafia showdown, and there was quite a few Dolphins fans as well.
Yeah.
Also a month ago when you guys came up here for the first time as well. But no, it was from my recent couple years that we've hosted at least one playoff game here. That was the first day game that we've had a full stadium for a playoff game in a long time. So it was pretty cool because the Indy game a couple years ago in 2020 was just like 6,500.
Yeah.
Kind of in the lower bowl. So pretty cool. Fans showed up. It was, you know, I looked around during the national anthem, couldn't see an empty seat anywhere, even up in the top corners of the third deck. So,
well, they say that looking around during the national anthem is the wrong thing to do because people standing covers the seats. Sense. But I know what you're saying. It was a full stadium. When people were sitting down, it was still jam packed.
Definitely. But it was overall great atmosphere.
Totally.
Obviously, you know, high stakes first round playoff matchup against a division opponent. You're always gonna expect the best. But
I have never been chirped. I've never been chirped by Bills fans more than I was chirped this past weekend.
Really?
Even like 4 weeks ago. 4 weeks ago, we were getting snowballs thrown at us.
Yes.
This past weekend was lots. It was raining down. Your brother is better than you. Like from the time that I walked out of the tunnel, the first time with fans in the building, like you suck. Your brother is better. That's why he's playing in Buffalo. And it was great. I love the chirp. I love the banter because I would be doing it too. Absolutely.
I've never heard that's the
Absolutely.
first time I've ever heard a visiting snapper
chirping the whole time. I was sitting on the bench, they were chirping me. I was coming out of the tunnel, they were chirping me. I was walking around. So like after our pregame's over, they go to like team, they run the plays or whatever. And we're done by that point. And so the specialists, we go into the locker room, but to get back to the tunnel, we have to like walk around y'all's side of the field to get to the tunnel. So
yes,
but because you can't just like cross, can't walk on y'all's side of the 50-yard line in the field of play during warmups. And so as I'm sort of making that around that corner, I'm just getting pelted with banter, and I love it. It was freaking awesome. But yeah, never more than
knowing Bills fans, it was all in good taste.
Totally. Yeah, it was. And funny enough, there was actually a guy, I think it was either coming out of halftime or right before the game. You came out of your locker room. I could see you like as I was coming down to the tunnel, because Buffalo is one of the only places where you come out of the same tunnel as the other team. I was coming down. You came out of your locker room and went out onto the field, and I was coming out, probably 50 steps behind you. And there was a Dolphins fan like on the tunnel to my left side that as I was coming out, he was like, "There's the better long snapper." And I gave him a little point.
Yeah.
Like I pointed at him, and the whole
That's
everybody
awesome.
line started laughing. It was pretty funny.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I loved it. It was awesome. First playoff game, even though it was a loss, was super, super cool. Super proud of the guys, the way that we fought, given the adversity that we had sort of sustained all year. Tough way to end the season, but everybody ends on a loss in the playoffs except one team. So
that's right.
Excited for what next year holds for sure.
Yep. And whatever the fans thought that game was going to be, the old saying comes true. You guys get paid too, whether you're talking about one team, your team, or the other team. There's a lot of great players on that field for every snap of the ball, offense, defense, either side, special teams, you name it. There's going to be some fun matchups, certainly in the coming years. So we won. We are advancing to the divisional round. We play the Cincinnati Bengals on Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern, at home, hosting the Bengals. Just to give you a rundown of the other games that happened, and I have it here on my cell phone. The 49ers beat the Seahawks, the Jacksonville Jaguars, as we will get into here in a second with Ross Matiscik. They came back and beat the LA Chargers.
Unbelievable.
The Giants beat the Vikings, which I believe I called last week on the podcast. The Bengals beat the Ravens to advance to play us. And then the Cowboys beat the Buccaneers on Monday night to advance. So a couple of matchups we've got this weekend, 4 games, 2 Saturday, 2 Sunday. The Saturday day game, or I say day game, it's at 4:30. Jaguars at the Chiefs. Chiefs hosting as their first game of the playoffs after their bye week.
It's a hard place to play.
Saturday night is Giants at the Eagles, also hosting after their bye week. And then Sunday, as I mentioned, we will be, hosting the Bengals at 3 o'clock Eastern. And then the Cowboys will visit the San Francisco 49ers on Sunday night at 6:30 p.m. So a couple very exciting games to look forward to this weekend. I believe last year, this same weekend, the divisional round, all 4 games were decided by 3 points or less. I could be wrong, but I think every single game, or maybe 3 of the 4, were decided by a field goal. So this weekend is notorious for the best playoff football. Most people say, most football watchers would say. So should be a great weekend ahead.
Yeah, I'm pumped to be able to catch all those games. I wish it was not this way, but
I will also be catching all of these games because we're the first game Sunday, and I'll be able to come back
playing at home.
Back home and watch at least part of the Sunday night game.
You will not be on an airplane during the night game. That is super nice. I think my prediction, if you're asking for my unsolicited prediction, Chiefs.
Sure, I'll ask.
Chiefs Bills in Atlanta for the AFC championship, and Philly. I can't go with the Cowboys. Philly.
See, I think Dallas is going to upset them.
Philly, San Fran. I want Philly to win because Zach Bryan promised a new single if the Philadelphia Eagles beat the Giants. Zach Bryan is a big Birds fan. Fly, Eagles, fly. Like he is, which doesn't make sense. He's from Oklahoma. I think he lives in Philly now. Anyway, that's the only reason I want the Eagles to win that game is because I want more music from our boy Zach Bryan. But I don't think that Dak is going to be able to withstand the number 1 defense in the league. That is the San Francisco 49ers.
Understandable.
They are on a roll. Brock Purdy
party,
slinging it.
Yep.
Purdy party. I'm expecting Eagles 49ers, Chiefs Bills, and hopefully I'll be in attendance at the Chiefs Bills game.
Excellent.
So gonna be a lot of fun. Let's get into the after the snap clutch snap of the week, which conveniently has been won by our interviewee this week.
Yes,
Ross Matiscik coming at you right now.
We now welcome into the show current long snapper for the Jacksonville Jaguars and former Baylor Bear, linebacker and long snapper at Baylor, and winner of this week's After the Snap Clutch Snap of the Week, Ross Matiscik.
Let's go.
Ross, welcome to the show.
Let's go. I'm just happy to be here, excited to be on and get that award. That's pretty cool.
Thanks for joining us this week. We've got a big weekend ahead. Unfortunately, Blake, we haven't gotten into it just yet, but we obviously knocked them out of the playoffs this week. So 2 of us on the show this week are continuing our journeys for the Super Bowl this weekend. You guys have Kansas City on Saturday.
Right.
In Kansas City, we are hosting Cincinnati on Sunday afternoon. Want to kick it off. A guy that played with you at Baylor for a couple years, I think, and then came out in my class in 2016. Jimmy Landis. You're friends with Jimmy?
Yeah,
from your time at Baylor.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your relationship with Jimmy and how he kind of got you into snapping.
So my roommate in college was Drew Galitz, who was our punter, actually. And so he was always around Jimmy. Jimmy was a senior when I was a true freshman, and I was redshirting. And just became close with him through my punter. They always hung out together, so I was kind of in that group too, hanging out with them. And then Jimmy would ask me to come, catch snaps for him because I was kind of learning a little bit about snapping. At the time, I was a scout team linebacker, and Jimmy was getting ready to get drafted. He was going to the Senior Bowl and all that. So, like, you can get drafted for that, I wouldn't know. Blake would know, but you can get drafted for that. You can get drafted for that. So he started teaching me how to snap a little bit in the indoor during the off season while he was getting ready. And he introduced me to Justin Snow, who was a longtime snapper for the Colts. And during spring balls, Art Browse was our coach at the time, and he said, "Hey, we don't have a long snapper. If you start this season, we'll put you on scholarship." So I was like, "All right." So just started like that, but worked a lot with Jimmy, and watching him get drafted and all that was real cool. So
Very nice.
And,
So
and
what
then
was
my older brother went to guys MBA at SMU and was classmates with Jimmy. So it was like a whole circle of everyone in my family knowing him over time. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, small world.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to hop into last weekend, your game, wild card round versus the Chargers at home.
Yeah.
I think that was that the first Jaguars home playoff game since 17.
Yeah, it was.
Okay, we played that. I think that was the game against us. Y'all beat us. Well, I know you weren't there, but Jacksonville beat us like 10-3 or something. Very low scoring game. I think we punted like 12 times, or at least it felt like it.
Wow.
Just a real bad game on offense. I think we were just kind of happy to be there. We had just broken like a 19-year drought, playoff drought. So that's kind of the last Jacksonville home game that came to memory. But you guys, obviously, I don't want to hit on it too much. Down 27-0. Right around halftime. What were kind of the thoughts around the team at that point? And tell us a little bit about the comeback, if there's anything special you can share.
So the thoughts around the team, like went in the locker room at half, and it was kind of just like a normal game, right? There wasn't, and nobody was really in panic mode. We were just, you would have thought we could have been up at the time if you walked in the locker room. Everybody was pretty composed and calm. Some thoughts definitely going through my head when we were down 27-0,
Sure.
Especially since we beat them by 28 in week 3. So
I remember that.
We were like, what just happened? Like, what's going on right now? At least I was. And then, slowly but surely, we kind of, the Chargers played pretty conservative on offense. And we just kind of took advantage of that and started getting on the board, chipping away slowly. And then next thing you know, game-winning field goal to win the game. So it's a pretty cool experience and something I'll never forget for sure.
Absolutely.
Somebody I want to ask you about is somebody that I'm very familiar with, having played against him both in high school and in the college ranks. Your boy Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
So what about him gave you guys confidence down the stretch? Obviously, he's had a great year. What about his growth and his maturity as a pro quarterback has given you guys confidence down the stretch to be able to make a playoff run?
Yeah, Trevor's he's just one of those guys that just, like, I don't think he's really aware of who he is, he's so, it's Trevor Lawrence, first overall draft pick, won national title and all that stuff. But like, if you were just to meet him, he would treat you like you were anybody else. You know what I mean? He wouldn't. Yep. He's just one of the nicest, most genuine guys, and he's always so composed on and off the field. Like anything you do with him, he's just, the same guy. So that's pretty cool to see. Yeah. And, he just kind of carries himself, pretty level-headed. And that's something that, like, in moments like that, we can kind of, he just threw 3 picks and, he's still out there attacking like it's like he didn't do anything wrong. So when someone does something like that and carries the way that he does, his leadership, just by example, he's not super vocal, but just by example, it's someone that you definitely want to follow, and you just feel a lot more confident just being around him.
I think you and I can, and Reed probably remembers back to the beginning of his career in Buffalo. It can be hard to be a vocal leader in the locker room as a young guy, because you've got guys who are 30 plus years old walking around. They've got kids, they're married, they've got multiple houses. Like it's intimidating to walk into a locker room full of grown men who, this is their job, and it has been for a long time, and command a room. But that's where the best of the best separate themselves, obviously. But I think going back to even when I played against him in high school, he never played like he was, he never played like he was a freshman in high school when we saw him in the high school playoffs. And then even into college, he from the time he stepped on campus at Clemson, it was like, man, this kid's got it. I don't know what it is, but he's got it. And obviously he's taken that to the next level, and it's really good to see him having success. So with that, I will step out of the way and let Reed get on.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about my guy Heath. I know. I'm sure you guys are loving
What a
having
guy.
him down there.
What a guy! I mean, just first class.
One of my favorite coaches that I've ever had. It's thoroughly enjoyed having him for a couple of years up here in Buffalo. How has he? Well, I'll preface my question by saying he helped me grow a lot as a snapper. Really, just a lot of it came in the coverage aspect of the position, but also really just continuing to learn how to be a pro kind of in the job that we have. How has he helped you grow and take some strides forward this season?
Well, first off, I'll start off by saying he loves you too. He loves you guys so much that he calls me he's called me Reed a few times during stuff.
Oh no!
So
oh no!
We always get on him for that. But
it's all right. Danny Crossman does the same thing to me. I don't know whether that's on purpose or by accident, but either way, I get it.
He speaks very highly of you guys, and whenever I'm struggling with a rush that I don't usually see or have trouble picking it up, he's like, well, let me just call Reed. Let me call Reed. He'll have the answer. So I'm about sick of that answer from him, but no, that's just hats off to y'all and the athletes and snappers y'all are. But no, I've grown a lot from Heath. Heath is very, I guess you would say, energetic on the sidelines. So he makes football fun. You see a coach kind of getting fired up like that. Normally they're pretty level-headed, but Heath likes to turn that switch like he's still playing sometimes. But
does he still wear gloves and cleats at practice?
No, he doesn't.
Oh no!
I gotta bring
That's
that
so
up.
funny. He did that for. I think he did it. Maybe he stopped his last year here, but his first couple years up here in Buffalo,
he was 19,
20, he wore cleats and gloves to practice, and we would all get onto him for it. But that's exactly what he did. Like what you just said, he's bringing the energy at practice, like he is, like he's down there on the sidelines for a game, and it's contagious.
If you could let Heath run down on kickoff on Saturday, he'd be the first guy to suit up. Yes. And honestly, he's in better shape than me probably. He'd go out there.
You'll have to ask him. Last season, we timed him on a 40 in his tennis shoes just at a practice one day. It was like a random Thursday. We were inside just messing around.
That's awesome.
During practice, and he ran like a 4.7.
That doesn't surprise me.
4.7. It was like a 4.77 or something like that. You have to ask him about it. But
you walk in his office and he's lined up with all these vitamins and everything.
Oh yeah.
And so I'm like, this guy's.
He's I'll never forget. I walked into his office one day, and I take in a lot of podcasts and whatnot. But one of the big advertisements over the past 2 years probably is the athletic greens.
Yeah,
stuff that a lot of people are taking. Yeah. He was the first. He's the only person in the building, locker room coaches that I ever saw drinking it. I was like, that makes so much sense.
Yeah. He's one of a kind for sure. He's a real fun guy to play for because you talk about what you've learned from him as well. Like he's someone that's played in the league for 10 years and not as like a superstar, but just kind of like a gritty special teams guy.
Yep.
And especially in the cover aspect, he's he can help you out so much about taking your shot or maybe kind of sit back on this one, kind of reading the returns and whatnot. So someone that you can hear all the chalk talk all you want about this is how it's supposed to be done and this.
Sure.
But when you hear him coaching guys to send kickoff return, he's like, hey, look, that's a hard block. And during my career, I struggled with that block. This is how you're supposed to do it, but this is how I did it. In different kind of situations. He's like, look, I get it. Like holding calls, maybe he's like, they can go either way and whatnot. But someone that's been in your shoes and done it at a high level for 10 years, like it's pretty cool to hear his perspective and, make that adaptable to our game. So
no doubt.
Somebody you've added to the specialist room this year is Mr. Riley Patterson, and he's I think 8th in field goals made, maybe field goal percentage. Obviously kicked the game winner on Saturday.
Right.
And, he had a great year for the Lions last year. How has his arrival helped you guys out and really just given you guys confidence as a specialist group? Obviously Logan has been really good throughout his career, but how has Riley added to the specialist? Been,
First off, he's a God-fearing man. So anytime he walks in the room, rocking his giant cross necklace. And
hey man, I saw the he put it up in front of the camera.
Right. Yeah.
That was really cool. That was awesome.
Like that's like a front. That's just who he is, right?
Yeah.
So, spiritually, it's cool to have him around and bring that joy to the locker room. But as far as bringing him in, through my first 2 years, I guess through once Riley got here, he was my 12th kicker.
Holy cow!
Since I've been in the NFL, so we've had a lot of turnover. For whatever reason it was, we've just been through a lot of guys. So to finally have somebody stick like Riley is pretty cool. Bring a little bit of stability to the group, and it's a joy to be around someone that just works hard. I never see him really get two-phased, except in ping pong, it gets pretty competitive, and I kind of I chirp a little bit here and there, and I push him to the line.
As you should.
I push him right to the line where after the game's over, he won't talk to me for 5 minutes, and then we're friends again. But I try and push that line as much as I can, and then pull off. But besides that, just one of those guys that you want to be around and just makes everyone better. So we're really glad we got him on our team, and he's having a great year. Yeah.
On the flip side, you've got Mr. Logan Cook, a vet in Jacksonville. When he's not out shooting ducks or fishing or outdoorsing, he's been crushing it. How does having a veteran punter, veteran presence? I know he's probably not that much older than you. But how does that help the room and you as a snapper?
Yeah, so you guys know Logan pretty well, but for the ones that don't, Logan is the most laid back, careless, most caring punter, I would say, in the NFL.
That's a great way to put it.
Accurate.
He cares about his job.
Careless but caring.
Yeah, he cares about his job very much, but probably after the season won't touch a football until first day of OTAs. You know what I mean? He's just like, don't work too hard. If it's working, then it's working, and if it's not working, then I'll change it. But
that's right.
Until then, this is.
I got lips to rip right now, baby.
Yeah,
come on.
Yeah. So no, Logan's awesome. He took me in when I first got here. They kicked me out of the team hotel. I stayed there as long as I could, and then I went and stayed at him in his house and his wife Mary's house for about 3 weeks. So I found somewhere to stay. So at the time, his wife was a night nurse, an overnight nurse. So she would leave at like 5 o'clock, and me and him would play Call of Duty until we'd go to bed. And we were kind of like living a college life.
You're just college roommate buddies.
But no, he's been awesome. Me and him have grown very close over the years to the point where I consider him a brother. And we have our days where we're good, and then we have our days where we break up. That's what the training staff would say. We get in a fight and not talk to each other for about 3 or 4 hours, and the next day we come back.
Oh, jeez.
But we've grown to know each other really well, and he's just someone that's fun to work with because he's just always laid back and doesn't let anything get to his head too much. But is professional at his job.
So something I was trying to think of things that we might have in common. One thing that I think we do have in common is the arrival of Heath Farwell, and in turn signing extensions with our teams. I signed one last year, or about 2 years ago. You signed one last offseason for four years, I believe.
Heath loves to lock in a long snapper.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
4 years, is that correct?
4 years, yep.
Congratulations.
That's awesome.
I know it's a little late, but congratulations on it.
I appreciate it.
How does it feel to be locked in with your squad for the next handful of years?
It's cool. Like when I first got here, we were struggling, and last year with Urban Meyer and all that, we were struggling as well, and just kind of a lot of turnover. But when Heath came in and I met him and I met Coach Peterson, and our GM Trent Balk does a great job. I knew that this is somewhere that I could, with Trevor coming in too, and we were a really young team, and I just knew that it could be somewhere that we could turn that page and be good for years to come. And I wanted to be a part of it. We're building a brand new facility, which was definitely a pretty cool incentive to have with the golf simulator. So when I heard
way,
I was pretty fired up.
That's awesome.
But
I'm glad you told me that, because I'm going to bring that up to our people up here and be like, hey,
absolutely.
You guys want to compete with Jacksonville?
That's right.
They got a golf simulator.
Yeah. So,
right.
And then Jacksonville as a whole, I love the organization. And then, anywhere where you can golf and fish all year round, I'm all for it. So, it's 80 degrees today.
You don't have to rub it in.
Sorry.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Blake knows that.
Yes,
No
he
doubt.
does.
No
Yes, he
doubt.
does.
Hey, it's down there. You don't even want to step out of the house after, like April. So once it cools down though, it is super nice.
Yeah. So it's not a bad place to live, and I get to do what I want. I can fish all year round, and play golf with the boys. Whenever I have some time off. So
There you go.
Love it.
It's a good little place to be. So I decided that I want to stick around here for a little bit when they reach their hand out with it. So
Sure. Did you splurge on anything? Maybe new set of clubs?
Yeah. So I actually I went and got a boat. I bought a little fishing boat.
Okay.
So I was like, I'm in Jacksonville. I don't know how much longer. You never know with this business how long you're going to be here.
Take advantage.
We're riding the intercoastal and the ocean and stuff. So I was like, I'm going to get a boat. And
Come on.
I know I'll regret it if I don't. So after practice some days, I'll shoot out there, catch a couple of redfish, a couple of flounder, and take it home and eat it for dinner. So not a bad gig out here.
That's awesome.
I want to go back to Urban Meyer for a second. Is the Josh Lambo kick thing true? I'm just kidding. You don't have to answer that.
Plead the fifth. Plead the fifth.
On that. I don't know what the current standing.
No, I'm
what's
totally
going on right now. So,
totally messing. That was quite an experience for you guys that we can move on from because we are super pumped that you guys are doing well, and we're looking forward to this upcoming weekend. Obviously, I will not be playing. Reed will be playing. You will be playing. I will be watching it on TV. Congratulations. You guys gave KC a great run back in week 10. What are you looking forward to this time around?
First off, I'm just fired up for the atmosphere. When we went there, Coach Peterson had a coach there. He was the OC there for a little bit, and he always talked about the atmosphere there, and I don't think we got the full effect in when we were there last time. But I think it's supposed to snow, so I might need to get some tips from you, Reed, and then that aspect. But just growing up a football fan and knowing the history of Arrowhead and all that kind of stuff, I'm fired up just to go there and play in January in a cold game, and I think that'd be really exciting, something to look forward to. But then, at the end of the day, when you get to compete at a level like this, you kind of don't realize how far we've come as a team, and it's just kind of cool to be in this position first of all, and then just ready to go out there and compete, and hopefully we can keep some magic going a little bit.
Love it. Two things: find the heater,
right.
and lick your fingers.
There
you go.
Both those are done.
That's my two tips. So we like to finish off every interview with what we call some short snaps, just some quick fire questions. Answer as freely as you'd like. I got 6 for you.
All right.
And then we can close up. Your favorite away stadium that you've played in this far?
Favorite away stadium? I thought Ford Field was really cool. I didn't expect there to be a whole brick wall, like they call it the factory and stuff. So I'm gonna go with that one. It was smaller, but the cool atmosphere there. I'm gonna go Ford Field.
Ford Field felt really small to me.
Yeah, me as well.
It's like
I think because there's no high deck.
Yeah,
it's there's only 2 levels really.
Mm-hmm. And then you've got the one side that's all the
suites. Yeah.
Yeah, I just thought it was pretty unique, and
it definitely is unique.
Awesome.
When I walked out of the tunnel, I did not expect that at all. So
yeah, for sure. Least favorite away stadium?
I might catch some heat for this one, but I'm gonna say SoFi. I just don't like it. I think the turf is hard, and one time I got knocked over and I bruised my heel there, and I blame the hard turf. So
really,
I'm gonna go with SoFi.
Fair enough.
Yeah. And the trip out there, just the haul,
Yeah. Oh, for you guys too, especially.
Yeah.
What's on your pregame playlist?
Pregame playlist. I don't really listen to music much before games. I'm just kind of hang out in my locker, trying to relax. But I'll throw some of that rap lifestyle playlist from Apple Music on there, or I got this playlist called Highway. It's pretty much just sing-along country songs that I like that I drive to. So I'll play that on sometimes. Some George Strait, some Alan Jackson. Just kind of
now we're talking. Now
we're
talking.
What's your go-to halftime snack?
I eat 2 of those Welch's fruit snacks and a Gatorade with the Gator Light in it.
Okay.
Been that way since college. Just that's what
gotta get the salts, bro.
Big stuff.
Not convinced me otherwise.
It's too hot in Jacksonville not to get the salts.
What is your ideal peanut butter and jelly ratio if you're making your own sandwich?
Whatever the peanut butter is, jelly times 3. Big jelly guy. I want
75-25.
75-20. I want to get a spoon afterwards and eat the jelly. Yeah.
Wow.
I make mine
That's
no
fantastic.
squash.
I think that's the highest
smokes.
jelly we've ever gotten.
Oh, I load that thing up.
That is fantastic.
I get the peanut butter, I can stick a little bit, but
I love that. I love it. Okay, and then off the top of your head, build your all-time specialist group.
All-time specialist group. Wow, that's a good one. I'm gonna go Mulebalk as snapper.
Okay.
Punter.
Solid pick.
Hey, punter. I don't even know, honestly. Kicker. I gotta go with Vinatieri. Why not?
Yep.
Dude's a goat. And then punter, stuck on that one.
Can't say Logan.
No, I'm not. I'll go with Johnny Hecker. I think Johnny Hecker kind of changed the game a little bit with all his unique punts. And
yeah, no
the
doubt.
guy's got a cannon for an arm. So, anytime we can throw a little fake in there or something fun. Let's go.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Well, that's all we got, Ross. Thank you for joining the podcast this week. Best of luck this weekend. And I'm certainly hoping that we see you next week in Buffalo.
Let's do it. Yeah, just make sure I'll try and bring the weather with me when we come up there.
Fantastic.
There you go. All right, guys. I appreciate it. Thanks for
having me, man. Thank you, bro.
All right. See y'all.
Well, Reed, another outstanding long snapper interview. Dude, Ross is the man. He is another Texas, just good old boy. And, obviously super happy for him, doing really, really well, extended everything. So good luck to Ross against the Chiefs this week. Gonna be fun. So
he did a great job. He very well spoken. He's had a really good year this year down there with our guy Heath Farwell. So happy to see everybody in Jacksonville succeeding, and of course have to mention his crazy, I don't know, outlandish, I don't really know how to, his 3-1 PBJ.
Oh, I didn't know where you were going with that.
I don't even know where to go with that.
Yeah, 75-25.
3-1 jelly.
Only one I've ever had that was higher than that was Sam Madison, our one of our defensive backs coaches. He said 80-20, and I'm like trying to calculate in my head how you actually make an 80-20 PBJ. I don't know how that's possible without getting just
very light
jelly
layer of PB.
Yeah. So
that's all I got.
But that is a wrap on this week's episode of After the Snap. Thank you for joining us. As always, you can subscribe to us at the Finsider, at Buffalo Rumblings, whichever place you want to consume our pod. Please subscribe to us. You can follow us on social media at After the Snap Pod, Instagram, Twitter, all of the places. You can find us there. YouTube, we are going to be there. We'll see you next week. This has been Tales from After the Snap. Wow, getting ahead of myself. This has been After the Snap, Tales from two brothers who live life upside down.
See ya.
Well, you can take this boy out the real South Thunder, but you can't take the real South out of my voice. And now here we go again, twist a little bit deeper.